Good morning. How are we all doing? We okay? So it's Sunday. It's the mindfulness session. And yes, I forgot to turn the music on. There we go. So how are we? We okay? We're back. I apologise for not doing workouts Tuesday to yesterday, although yesterday was booked to be off anyway through the timetable, because I've gone back to work. And quite honestly, quite simply, going back to work. Morning Julie, I missed you. Yes, morning Lisa, morning Julie. How are we doing, ladies? I've gone back to work and it's a shock to the system for me. 12, 13 hour days, standing up, standing on, moving around. Yeah, to go from being on the sofa to working flat out. Kind of kicked my ass, let's be honest. But from tomorrow, we are back to normal. We are back to 9:30 workouts through the week. We're going to do the timetable from last week, this week. Or from this week, next week, whichever way you want to look at it. That will be our focus. But the fact that I've been really busy this week is giving me time to think about what we're going to focus on today. For mindfulness. For being aware of things. So last week we thought about Mohini, the white tiger. And how that white tiger... Thank you, June. Mohini, the white tiger, lived in a 12 by 12 cage. Wandered around it, and then got given a big enclosure. Still wandered around in a 12 by 12 square in the back corner. Struggling to adapt to things, and that's what we've been this week. And my thought for the coming week is water. Water. That is just going to be my key word, my trigger for this week. And I'll explain this as we stretch. So I want you to start out, please, just seated with your legs crossed or one foot just tucked in behind the other. Sat with your feet on the floor, knees in front of you, wherever you're comfortable. But start seated. Don't need to be sat up really tall. Just sit up comfortably and relax and breathe. And then you're going to start just being aware of the feeling of being seated. Be aware of how your body feels. Whether you're full of energy or tired, whether you've got loads of things running around your head or barely a thought at all. Any tension, any stress, any fatigue, just focus on it and feel it in the body. Become aware of it. And just breathe. And now from here, bring your hands forward. Bring yourself down towards your legs, your stomach towards your legs, your chest towards the floor. Leaning forwards, lengthening out your lower back, stretching the lower back. If you can get your forearms to the floor, great. If you can't, great. You go to your range of movement and just breathe and relax as we try and lengthen and stretch the lower back. And you might might feel yourself slowly falling forwards, deeper into this stretch as everything starts to relax and ease off. When you feel that happen, you can move your hands further forwards if you want or need to. Just keep going, just a few more seconds, hold or let this stretch happen. And then slowly, still keeping yourself down by the floor, bring your hands back towards you so you can push against the ground and lift yourself back up. You can bring yourself back to being seated upright. Now still seated, take your right hand up above you and lean yourself to your left. Let the arm come across you and just lean. Let yourself stretch on the right side of the body. Let that stretch happen. Don't hold your breath, just breathe nice and steadily. And let your body ease into that stretch. Feel it slowly letting you move further. And then bring your hand to the floor, across, and let's change sides. Bring your left arm up and over. Lean over to your right hand side. Just let that stretch open up. This is a great way to release tension through some of the postural muscles for the lower back. And then bring your hand down, sweep across the front, and come back to upright, and back to being seated. And from here, all I'd like you to do, as I move the camera back slightly, is lie yourself down on your back, please. Just lie yourself back. As flat and relaxed as you can be. Hands by your sides. And just take a moment to allow everything to relax. Let all the tension in your body just sink into the floor, out of view, into the ground. As you lie here, allowing this tension to go, I'd like you to think of a river. A river that flows freely to a waterfall. Now think of this river by the waterfall. It's flowing fast. The water is turgid, it's disturbed, it's mixed up. But at the other end of the river, it could start as just a trickle, a gentle flow. Think of this continuum as to how your mind can be at times. Some days it's hectic, it's racing round like a chimpanzee on acid. Other times we are peaceful. But the biggest thing to think about is that river, that water. As we think of this, pull your right knee towards your chest. Wrap your arms around your lower leg. Bring that knee in so we can stretch the back of the hip and the lower back. And hold this stretch. And just think of that river. Build the scene in your mind. The trees around the sides of it. The riverbank. The sky. Sunlight. Clouds. Holding that thought, bring your right knee across the body to the left hand side. Try to get your knee to the floor. If you can, great. If you can't, that's great. Take your right hand above you and bring it across to the right hand side of the body. Try and get it to the floor. Your knee is going left. Your hand goes right. The stretch happens. As we stretch, just think of that river scene. That's me. Somebody sneezed in the background of your river. Bring your hand back above you, your knee above you, and straighten your leg. And pull on the hamstring or the calf, but not on the knee itself, to open that stretch through the back of your leg. And just breathe. Be in the moment. And then relax. Bring that leg down. Pull your left leg towards your chest. Now, as we think of this river, you need to think the water is always flowing. Things are always moving. Things are always happening. Take that right knee across the body to the left. Take the left knee to the right hand side. Take your left hand above you. Bring it down to your left. With water in a river, things always move and change. Think of the molecules, air bubbles in the water. As they move, they react, they interact with other bubbles, other molecules around it. that is us in life. We move constantly, we interact constantly. Our surroundings change and adapt constantly. Let's come back to that center, hand up, straighten the leg. As we adapt constantly, we are like those bubbles, those molecules in the river. We go from quiet, peaceful times to hectic times, to sometimes feeling like we've gone over the waterfall, we're falling, we're out of control. And then we stop at the bottom and it slows down. That is us. We adapt. We have moments where we feel like we've lost control, but we must remember, control will come back. This too shall pass. Bring that leg down. Straighten the leg. And turn yourself over onto your front. Now as we lie on our front, just place your hand or your chin on your hands. Just relax. So remember that as things get hectic, it's okay. That chaos will pass. And that gentle flow of life, the steady pace we crave, will return. I'd like you now, please, to rest your head on your right arm and bring your left arm back behind you to hold your left ankle. So bend your leg, hold your ankle, and pull your foot towards your bum to open a stretch through the front of the thigh. Just rest your head on your right arm. Think of that water in that river. Even the great Bruce Lee, his philosophy was become like water. When water goes in a cup, it becomes the cup. Think on that. Still holding your left ankle with your left hand, push your left hip into the floor and feel the stretch on the left thigh increase. But still hold your left ankle as close to your bum as you can. Water in a cup. The water becomes the cup. That same water, if it was in a river, would become the river. Relax here, let your left foot go back to the floor. Let's change sides. Rest your head on your left arm and hold your right ankle with your right hand. And allow that stretch to happen through the front of the thigh. So the thought of water becoming a cup, that cup of water becoming a river, This teaches us that water adapts to its environment, its situation. We adapt, we overcome. That is us. As things change, as things happen, we adapt to it. We find a way through. Push your right hip into the floor, still holding your ankle. As we change, we adapt, we overcome, we fit our situation to get through it. There's nothing wrong with doing that. It's how we adapt, it's how we survive. It's how we develop. How we can become the person we want to be. Think of that river. That river, when it started out as a waterfall, it was a drip over the edge of the cliff. It landed on the ground and splashed. It landed on flat ground. It wasn't where it wanted to be. Relax your foot back to the floor and rest your head on both hands again. Over time, that river, becoming that great waterfall through persistence, changed the flat ground below it to a pool. It created the environment and the situation it wanted. That pool developed. Leading to another river, if it wanted to be. It grew, it became what it wanted to be, and this is us in life. Water, from the start of a trickle of a river, through the chaos, to reach who and where we want to be. Keep this thought with you this week. When things get crazy, things get busy, just remember water. So one last thing for today, come back round to being seated. Take your time to come off the floor. Back to seated, where we started. Just sit up. You don't need to force it. You're not trying to sit as tall as you can. Just stay upright. And just breathe. Be in the moment. You won't see this moment again. It passes. As that river flows, the scenery around it passes and moves, and it never sees that same point again. So be in each moment. Breathe. Enjoy time. If it's chaotic, this too shall pass. hold these thoughts with you as we go into this new week. And control that chaos. Control that crazy chimp in your head. Let it pass. Let it go. That said, we're done for today. I hope you found this useful. It's not yoga, it's not Pilates, it's just trying to release some tension from the body and refocus the mind. Tomorrow, we go back to training, we go back to weights. We go back to reconditioning the body as well as working with the mind. But for today, it's sunny. Get out there, enjoy the sun, enjoy your time and your day with whatever you're doing. And I'll see you in the morning.